Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Serah Muindi. I talk about travel, studying abroad, mental health, and business. So if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing about my experience moving to the UK. When I was writing the script for this, I realized there's so much I have to share, but I'm going to do my best within like the time that I have to be able to do this. So first of all was travel documents. For context, I got selected for Chevening as a Chevening scholar, which is a scholarship that pays for a one-year master's for me in the UK, together with another 1,400 Chevening scholars as well. So after I got my Chevening scholarship, I applied for Chevening in August of 2022. I started the application in August. I submitted in November of 2022. I got selected last year, 2023. I got the news of my selection in June. There was an interview in between in February, and then I got the news of my selection in June. I had also applied for universities in November of 2022. So I had gotten an unconditional offer from the university where I'm currently studying. It's called Loughborough University. And so I had to apply for a visa. I had a passport because in 2019 I went to the USA for Mandela Washington Fellowship. That's when I had applied for my passport. So I had a passport. I used that to apply for a visa. So I got a visa entry that is stamped on your passport. That was stamped on my passport. It will be the same case for you as well. And then after the visa entry, I also got a biometric resident permit, which I was to collect after I arrived here in the UK. So those were the key travel documents that I needed. You're still also going to need, if you're traveling, confirmation of acceptance of studies from your university to prove that you're actually going to be there to study. That's the only document I was asked for at the passport control in the UK, but the rest of the travel was pretty easy and standard. So that's in terms of travel documentation. You have to have your papers in correct, especially if you're coming to this country in the legal way. All right, so there's travel documents, and then this is the other thing I did, that's a tip I'd share with you. I put all of my travel documents, everything, including my air tickets, which are sponsored by the Chevening Scholarship through a travel agency, my travel documents, passport, biometrics, BRP. I hadn't gotten my biometrics resident permit yet, but I put my travel documents, including my passport, my visa, a scanned copy, confirmation of acceptance of studies, TB certificate. That one you must get to come to the UK and you pay for it. I also put my final award letter for the Chevening Scholarship, my confirmation of acceptance of studies. I put my travel tickets, my COVID certificate, my yellow fever certificate, and I put all of them, including my Airbnb I was going to stay when I arrived, into an email. I forwarded that email to my spouse. I also forwarded it to the cyber where I went to print out a one copy, and then I saved the same on my hard drive. So you need to have backups just in case your original documents get stolen, get destroyed, get forgotten in an airport, which happened to one of the scholars that is also a 2023-2024 scholar. So I put all the documents together in an email. I printed out copies of all of those documents, so about 10 pages, and I put those in a folder and carried them with me in my bag. Then I emailed a copy to my spouse so that in case I die or something, they have somewhere to start retracing and finding me. So that was the first thing, travel documents. Then there was the flights. So I had 3 flights to take, one from Eldoret to Nairobi, and then from Nairobi to Paris, and then from Paris to Birmingham Airport. It was a very long journey. My first flight was at 7:30 in the morning, and then I had a 15-hour layover in Nairobi, which I really appreciate. It's a very long layover, but I appreciated it because I got to spend time with my family who are based in Nairobi. So they came to the airport. We spent an entire afternoon together and had the most amazing time. You'll definitely see the photos of that here as I'm continuing. So after the farewell, That was before I came to Nairobi for my flight. So, in between, after putting together all my travel documents, and while I was doing that, I also met up with a few of some of my friends and people that I have served with in church and in ministry, God's work. And so, I had a couple of farewell teas, coffees, dinners with quite a number of people that are close to me before now my final flight, my one-way ticket to the UK. So my farewell was very emotional. You will have a lot of mixed feelings. So there's excitement because you're leaving, but there's also sadness because you're leaving. There's people feeling happy and sad about the fact that you're going because they want you to stay, but they also know that they want you to have the experience that you're going to go through when you leave. So there's a lot of mixed emotions, and it's okay. One of the things that was very liberating, a friend of mine called Ruth told me, is you don't need to label how you're feeling, because I'm a therapist by practice. So I want to, put it to words. I want the language. And she was like, just feel your feelings. You don't have to actually, describe or have words for exactly how you feel. But it's very, very mixed. Lots of anxiety, apprehension, excitement, delight, joy. So it's a whole pot. People will give you a lot of advice. Some people will think that they're going to have their lives change because you're leaving. Some, their lives will change because you're leaving. Others, maybe not so much, or even not at all. So that was my farewell. It was pretty emotionally intense. In terms of packing, I only packed one carry-on bag and one suitcase. So for me, that was very, very light packing. I know of scholars who came with like 3 suitcases, but because for me, I know when I'm going back home is when I'll probably travel with quite a lot of the luggage that I will have. So I only had one suitcase and one bag. You'll see them here, just so that you can know how much light. I recommend you also travel, by the way. It's not just for me. So that was my final flight. I had a layover in Nairobi. It was an 15-hour layover. I spent it with my family. I wrote one of my blog articles there. I'll plug my blog down here. You can also follow me and I engage with some of the content that I post on my blog. And then I traveled, got on the flight. That was a pretty straightforward thing. You have to pick your luggage. If you're traveling from outside of the town, Nairobi, you have to pick your own luggage from the luggage section, and then you go with it to check into your next flight. Now that, because it's a direct flight, then I left Nairobi and picked my luggage in Birmingham, where I was arriving, my final destination. So that's something else for you to note. It was a very emotional flight for me. I remember when I was about to board, I literally just broke down at the airport. I just cried. I picked my handkerchief and cried my tears away, and it was awkward for a couple of people that were sitting next to me. But I've learned to allow myself to feel the emotions that I'm feeling wherever I am. There's no shame in being sad and the finality of some of the things that happen to you. So I got on the flight. I slept the whole way. I normally sleep because when there's motion, even in a car, I'm terrible. If you are traveling with me, I'm terrible as a travel buddy because during the journey, I'll be completely asleep. When we get to the destination, I'm the best person to travel with. So I slept for the entire flight. We got to Paris. It's a pretty chill airport, very, very gorgeous. I like the bulbs on the ceiling at Paris. You also need an airport transfer visa if you're going to leave the airport in Paris. So don't just imagine, oh, I have like 2 hours. I can go to see the Eiffel Tower. No. If you do want to go and see the Eiffel Tower, you do need to have a airport transfer visa that can allow you to get out of the airport. Then, guys, that was the smooth part of my journey. The rough part of my journey began. After I landed in Birmingham, I needed to get on a train. One of my friends is actually the one who mentioned to me that the kind of train I should get on, and that I'm going to have a couple of changes of the trains that I will be on in. I thought I'll just get into one train and then alight in Loughborough at the university. No, 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 no. So thank God I only carried one bag and one suitcase because I had I had 3 train changes and on different platforms. So that means it's like unashuka one stage and then unaenda stage ingine, then ndio upande the next train ama ndio upande hiyo gari next. So for those who you don't understand English, it's like when you get on one train or like to one bus station, you have, or train station, you have to get off that train station and go to another train station with your luggage, get on that train until the next stop, get off again and get on another train. So that was me. Oh, it was intense. It was so intense because you have to carry your own luggage and there are no trolleys in the train stations. So if you have a lot of luggage, just be ready to do a lot of lifting and pulling and quickly, because like there's a train I had only 14 minutes to change, and imagine I don't have any idea where I am, how to get to the next train, what time it's supposed to leave, I know, but I don't know where and like which carriage and things like that. So I had to ask everyone that I could ask. I asked, including passengers in the train them itself. I'm like, listen, I'm not getting lost on my first day in this new strange place. So I asked for directions everywhere. Even when I'll do a different video just for how to navigate when you get into a train station and how to move from one platform to another platform during one of the trips that I'll have in the course of the year. But the train stations were crazy. I'm lucky I only had 2 bags because especially like with very short times between one train and the next one, you will run. Just get ready. So I got to Loughborough, and one of the other mistakes that I made that you can avoid is I did not have a local number for the UK. So me, in my stupidity, I threw away the one that I was given in Kenya because I was told the network coverage is shitty. So I was like, I'll just get a new number when I get to the UK. Guys, that was a big blunder because after I got to Loughborough train station, railway station, I didn't have internet because my bundles were not working and I did not have money in my M-Pesa to buy the internet. So I had no way to communicate and no way to get where I'm supposed to get to. So I waited at the bus stop. There's a bus stop just after you get into the railway station. And luckily for me, there was a bus that was going to my university. And because I had an appointment that same day in uni to go and pick a token card for my security logins, I got on the bus, paid $2. Thank God for those prepaid cash cards that Chevning gives us, because that's how I was able to pay for that bus ride. So I got on the bus, went to Loughborough University, and I went to the library and I requested the lady that helped me with my security token to connect me to Wi-Fi. So she did some things on my phone and I was able to get online, and that's how I ordered an Uber to the first place I went, which was Tabush restaurant. I'm gonna plug them because I love their food. Tabush restaurant is in Loughborough Town Center, and I had chicken platter. It just tasted like home. I had not eaten naan when I left Eldoret because I didn't have the time to go to the restaurant, so I was craving naan and like Indian food. Tabush had what I needed, so I ate to my fill. Then now I was relaxed enough. I ordered an Uber. And I'm moving with all my suitcase, with my huge suitcase. When I'm dragging it on the streets, people can just hear, oh my God, that suitcase is so big and so loud. So I got to order my next Uber and then I went to my Airbnb. So that was my trip for how I got from moving to the UK to from Eldoret, Kenya, on a one-way ticket to the UK. and specifically to my university accommodation. Now, next time, I'm going to do a video for you guys on university accommodation, because I've had, it's called the citizenry experience with my accommodation. It's a story and a half. Well, I'm much more relaxed now and happy and settled in, and I know my way around better, and I'm delighted that I've gotten this far. As usual, I'm going to be continuing to share my journey with you. If you have any questions about my experience moving to the UK, please put them in the comment section. I will respond. I'll see you guys in the very next video.